any ocean to find it. Won't let no mountain get in the way. We come cross the water, been through the fire. I know that my heart will show me the way. Everywhere you turn, you see people smiling. We don't see no creed and race. Don't want nobody tell we about leaving. We fight for we thing and this is we place. Take me home. Take me home.
Everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. I am Davia Chambers, and it is a pleasure to be your MC for this very short media launch of the campaign Play Mass, Live Well. Before we officially begin, let me take this time to acknowledge the Deputy Chief Secretary and the Secretary of Health, Wellness, and Social Protection, Dr. Faith Brebner, Dr. Fidelis Okali, Acting General Manager, Primary Care, TRHA, Anika Edwards, Health Education Officer, County Medical Officer of Health, Ms. Onika Henry, Health Educator and Sexologist, heads of departments of the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection and the Tobago Regional Health Authority, other members of staff, members of the media, online viewers, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon again. Good afternoon again. So Tobago Carnival is right around the corner. And while we all know it's a time of celebration, music, and culture, it is also a perfect opportunity to remind ourselves of the importance of health, wellness, and of course, community spirit. That's exactly what this campaign is about, moving our bodies, eating well, and taking steps together to reduce the impact of non-communicable diseases like hypertension and diabetes. As we begin, ladies and gentlemen, I invite Mrs. Anika Edwards, Health Education Officer, to the lectern to open our press conference. Or media launch, rather.
Good afternoon, everyone. So let me begin with a little story. Most of you, all of you in this room, all of you online, I'm sure you know somebody who had a stroke. Have you ever thought about the before and the after, the feelings, the emotions, the challenges that people face after having had a stroke? Many times we don't pay attention to the fact you could be up and about one day and literally wake up the following day unable to move half your body, unable to speak clearly, unable to do anything on your own. And this is something that we face in Tobago far too often. Silent threats that happen to our bodies. We may be good one day, we may be gone tomorrow. Or we may be not ourselves tomorrow. And I want us to think about that going into this presentation, into this launch. But there's good news. I don't want to start with just gloom and doom and leave you hanging. Many conditions like strokes, hypertension, diabetes can be prevented or managed through simple lifestyle changes. And one of the most powerful tools we have is movement. Regular exercise reduces blood pressure, lowers the risk of diabetes, keeps the heart strong, and helps us manage stress. Just 30 minutes. 30 minutes of activity a day can make a lifetime of difference. That's why today we launch Play Mass, Live Well. This campaign is about making exercise fun, accessible, and part of our culture, not just for Carnival, but for long-term lifestyle changes. Over the next 4 weeks, we'll be moving together in communities with aerobics, dance fitness, yoga, hikes, in gyms, health food spots, where we aim to show how easy it is to start and continue your fitness journey. We'll also be challenging ourselves with something relatively simple. How many of you have pedometers on your watch or on your phone? Try for 10,000 steps, anyone? Let's challenge you to try for 10,000 steps per day, not per week, but per day. It's not about who is the fittest or strongest. It's about every one of us making small steps, literally 10,000, towards better health. As we prepare for Carnival, I want us to ask ourselves, what kind of energy you want to bring to the road or to life? Because some of us may not be on the road, but you want that same kind of energy for life. You want to know that your heart beats longer than 40 years. We have too many people becoming unable to function very early in life, whether it be by stroke or by some chronic disease. The energy that comes from a tired, unhealthy body, or the energy that comes from someone who cares for their body. You ever see people who exercise, they're always pumped. They have a little extra pep. That's what we want for everyone on the island. We don't want it to be just your thing or my thing. We want it to be our thing. We want to change the culture in Tobago, change our mindset towards being fit, being healthy, and moving. Tobago, let's use Carnival more than just a festival. Let's use it as a turning point. This Carnival, a turning point, a moment where we decide that exercise and wellness are part of who we are as a people, not just something that other people do. Together, let's move more, live well, and prove once again that Carnival is sweet, but health is sweeter. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Edwards. I also need to remember that 30 minutes of physical activity a day can make a lifetime of a difference. At this time, Ms. Onika Henry, health educator and sexologist, would share highlights on the importance of sexual health. Ms. Henry.
All right, so greetings, beautiful people. First of all, I just want to savor this moment that I am supported and backed by public health and government to talk about sex openly and in public.
Finally. I spoke about this so many times.
It's been a long time coming. Anywho, so my name is Onika Henry, and I am a clinical sexologist and somatic sex educator. And for years, my work has been really about one simple idea. Sexual health is not a separate, shameful aspect of being human. It is a fundamental part of your total health and well-being. And so therefore, there should be no fear, shame, or guilt about getting support for this beautiful, creative life force that is your sexuality. And that's exactly what we are launching here today. The Play Mass, Live Well campaign is also about promoting sexual health, safer sex practices, and consent. Through our engagement with you, we aim to reduce STI transmission, encourage and increase access to testing, and normalize conversations around sexuality and sexual health. Yay. So, as Anika said, when you're getting ready for Carnival, you think about fitness. You might do some aerobics, hit the gym, change your diet, all in a quest to build your stamina to look and feel good. You plan your outfits, you plan your costume. But what about those most intimate moments? Do you prepare for those with the same kind of intention and care? Just like you strengthen your body for the pace of Carnival, you can strengthen your sexual health. It's about preparation and protection. So I'm inviting you to think of it as these three simple things: coverage, consent, and confidence. Coverage. This is your protection from STIs and unplanned pregnancies. They are as non-negotiable as good shoes on the road. Consent. That's the rhythm that makes sure everybody is moving together in sync, willingly and joyfully. And then confidence. The confidence that comes from knowing your status through testing and taking care of yourself, just like checking your vital signs. So, whatever your personal plan is for Carnival, this campaign is for you. Today, as you go around, get your blood pressure checked, learn a new exercise, don't forget to attend to your sexual wholeness and wellness. It is also a part of building a stronger, healthier, more confident you. So let's make this season one where we truly understand that the sweetest carnival is a healthy one. Health is a real vibe. Let's make this carnival season yet, from henceforward, our healthiest. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Henry. And although the media launch has only just started, we're hearing the same tagline. Carnival is sweet for all the carnival lovers, but health is definitely sweeter. So at this time, we'll move right along, and we'll now hear from Dr. Fidelis Okali, Acting General Manager, Primary Care, Tobago Regional Health Authority.
Good afternoon, all. I am Dr. Fidelis Okali, a family physician and acting general manager, primary health care. Well, those of us in the primary health care department, we are very, very pleased with this initiative because it falls right in our garden. As some of you may know, the primary health care department is responsible for health promotion, disease prevention, and also management of diseases to ensure that they do not progress to a state where we get into serious problems in our community. So in a nutshell, we are responsible for a healthier community, a healthier Tobago. And we cannot do this alone. It has to be a collaborative effort. And this is actually the right time because nobody plays mass alone. You must be a mad person to play mass alone. Mass is a collective thing, and the sweeter the number, the greater the number, the sweeter the mass. So it's a collaborative effort that we all have to be involved in ensuring that at the end of the carnival activity, we all come out healthier than we were even before. So, and there is a reason why we should do this, because even the United Nations in their Sustainable Development Goal 17 advocates for strong collaboration of all sectors. Individuals, businesses, NGOs, government, we all should come together to ensure that we have one strong health solution to mitigate the scourge of chronic non-communicable diseases especially. Now, we know that there was a shift because before, in the past decades, we were talking about communicable diseases, but there has been a shift, and this shift probably is underpinned in the sense that over several periods of time, technological advancement with new antibiotics being formed, diseases were knocked out. So other diseases, non-communicable diseases, now showed and reared their head up, and they are fortified by the fact that for the few decades coming, we've arrived at, we have many more people living longer. So we have an aging population, and also our environment has also changed. If you ask the older folks, they will tell you that the type of things they were eating before is not what we are eating now. And the activity also they were very much more active. People used to walk all the way from probably Mount St. George and will come down to Scarborough. But now we cannot do that anymore. We must catch transport. And we most times even want the transport to carry us into our bedrooms or inside the shops that we are going to. So all these things has contributed to reinforcing the scourge of chronic non-communicable diseases, of which we know all like hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, strokes, those things that come with chronic non-communicable diseases. Of course, this shift in pattern, we know the way we can combat this is by looking at the risk factors. So what are these risk factors? We know that the risk factors for develop, because anything is a risk. I mean, when you go and you you buy a house and take an insurance, you're not taking it because you want to burn down your house. You're taking it because there's a risk that once there's fire, you don't lose money. You have some financial compensation for it. So anything in life is a risk, including these chronic non-communicable diseases that we're talking about. They're risk also. And what are these risks? We know the risks as sedentary lifestyle, that is physical inactivity. We know that another part of it also is excessive use of alcohol. We know that smoking is also part of the risk factors, and also very poor diet, the way what we eat and how we eat what and when we eat what we eat. So all these things contribute also as the risk factors of developing chronic non-communicable diseases. Now, we're not supposed to be here if everything is hunky-dory, but we know that there is a problem. There is a global problem. There is a local problem. There is a problem with chronic non-communicable diseases, and that is the reason why we are here. And just to bring you back to show you what this problem, or what the extent of this problem, I will go into the 2011 National STEP Survey, a survey that was done here in Trinidad and Tobago with about, 35,000 or so persons were surveyed. And it showed that in the region, the Caribbean region, we have the highest rate, highest prevalence of chronic non-communicable diseases. So let that sink in. And it also showed that there's a rise in mortality and morbidity. And this accounts for about 60% of premature death. So it's a serious problem. And again, the 2024 STEP survey, and this survey was just released, I think sometime this year. And this survey is still showing us the same thing, that we have the same high prevalence and the same morbidity and mortality rate, and about 75% of our premature deaths for persons under the age of 70 comes from that. And I'll just give you some other statistics that come from that survey. That survey, because for us to know where we stand, we have to see what that survey showed. Because if we were standing on a very unsafe grounds, then probably we'll just say go and play mass and don't worry about chronic non-communicable diseases. But this initiative, to show you how important this initiative is and how it seamlessly enter into the need to mitigate chronic non-communicable diseases. I'll give you some of those data. 21.3% of our population smoke daily. Yes, remember I said tobacco smoking is also one of the risk factors. 21.3% smoke. Half of our population drinks alcohol. That is 51.5% drinks alcohol. Or reported that they drank alcohol for the past 30 days. 93.3% eat less than 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. Oh yes, fruits and vegetables are also needed into your diet in order to mitigate this risk of developing chronic non-communicable disease. 13.6% experience symptoms of depression. Remember, depression also is a chronic non-communicable disease over a year period. And 25, almost a quarter of the population engage in less than 150 hours of physical activity per week. Because for you to say you are exercising, you must engage in at least 150 hours of physical activity. So how many of us are doing that? But we know that during the carnival time, we balance and we prance and we move like that. Probably it's an opportunity for people to use it and say, when you see somebody jumping instead of shuffling and jumping up, please don't blame the person. The person is probably exercising, using the opportunity to exercise. Right? So, of also very significance is that only 1.6% of our adult population had one of the combined risk factor. Because we talk about 5 risk factors. Smoking, harmful use of alcohol, sedentary lifestyle. I name all those things in the beginning. Only 1.6% of the population had just one of that combined risk factor. So you have 38.4% had 3 or more risk factors of developing this chronic non-communicable disease. So it's a serious problem. It's really a serious problem. And 61.2% are overweight. Yeah? Then in terms of blood pressure, you have 29%, fasting blood sugar, 15.8% of the population, 39.6% of elevated cholesterol. Then also significant, 11.8% have greater than 20% risk for cardiovascular diseases. In other words, within the next 10 years. In other words, over 11.8% have that 20% risk of dying from a heart disease in the next 10 years. So, I mean, there is no better time than now to push in anything that will help us to mitigate these figures. So combating NCDs relies on prevention, early detection, and management of its problems to mitigate its complications. So this puts us in a challenging position that requires collective, like I said, strategy to mitigate these risks. And there is no better time than during this carnival season when we all energize and motivated to free up ourselves and get on board and avoid all the negative energy likely to impact our wellness and well-being. So as we masquerade through the streets, dancing, parancing to soca and calypso, let's remember that our health is our wealth. Our health is our wealth. Because I always say that 3 things that you can do, you can invest, is 1, your health. 2, probably you invest in what they call it, land and house, or real estate, and then stocks and bonds, or anything of that nature. But your health is what? The primary place where you have to invest. Because if you have all the wealth in this world and you are not healthy, well, I mean, you are as good as not even having anything. So, we must be mindful, respectful, and responsible. Avoid excessive use of alcohol. Avoid tobacco smoking. Eat healthy meals collectively, fruits and vegetables in our diet. Phalanx through exercise and reduce the burden of NCDs with hope to live for ourselves, our friends, and our families. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Okali. And I think after hearing your remarks, we would remember that while we balance to try our best to remain healthy, not only during the carnival season, but also afterwards. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we now invite Dr. Faith Brebner, Deputy Chief Secretary and the Secretary of the Division of Health, Wellness, and Social Protection, to deliver the feature remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. So having sat there and listened to the 3 amazing speakers before me, I've actually just decided to throw out the entire thing that I had prepared for this. Because I think we are at a pivotal moment. Let me start here, though. Let me start by thanking Miss Anika, who most people may not remember. Anika was actually with me 15, 20 years ago or so when we started doing Know Your Numbers, way back when. It's been a while. It's about 15 years. And that program, Know Your Numbers, was designed then to help the people of Tobago know your numbers. And the idea was if you knew what your numbers were, you would know what to do about those numbers. If you knew what your blood pressure and blood sugar and weight and cholesterol and whatever else they were, you would know what to do. And it's kind of surreal that 15 years later we are here and listening to the same statistics that Dr. Okali was just talking about. It means that within that period, something either happened or something did not happen. And we have to be honest and true and pure with ourselves about what we are doing. As Secretary with responsibility for health, wellness, and social protection, I actually got a message today from a very good friend of mine. And I think this is why I have to switch out what I was going to say. Let me actually pull up the message from her. I won't say who she is, but the message is, she's in the medical field in Tobago. And she says, I am trying to figure out how to deal with this increasing numbers of young people with HbA1c at 14 and 15 plus. Dr. Akali, HbA1c normal is what? 5, 7?
That's right, below 5.
Below 5. And we now have people who are, and she goes on, and she says, that's normal now. I am talking about people in their 30s and 40s. I see at least once per week. You all understand what that means? We now have significantly younger people who are having long-term, because HbA1c is not because you drank something and your sugar is high. No. It is because you have had uncontrolled high sugar, in essence, in your system for a long time. So this means we have increased numbers of young people, because this used to be what happened to the older people who are treating with these issues. And I want to take us back to maybe a couple months ago, where I did something that almost, most people said, as Secretary with responsibility for health, wellness, and social protection, it probably should not have been done. But I'm glad we did it. That was when we actually announced that the Scarborough General Hospital was going into emergency mode. Now, the reason why the Scarborough General Hospital was going into emergency mode was because we needed to, in essence, halt the number of people who were showing up at the health facility, because we were running out of beds. And when I spoke with the health professionals there about why we were running out of beds, they really told me it is because we generally have an unhealthier population. So people show up to the hospital sick. What does that mean? More people are showing up with these non-communicable diseases. And when they show up with these non-communicable diseases, they have to be hospitalized. So that's one thing. They're showing up with more. 2, when they show up, we can't just treat them and send them home. It means they have to be hospitalized. And 3, those that are hospitalized need to stay in the hospital longer. Which means when we are accustomed to having somebody there for 2 or 3 days, we now have them there for 5, 6, 7, 10 days. It means that the turnaround time is so much longer. So when we could have taken 3 people over a week period to have them in a bed, that bed is now occupied by a single person who is now rolling into week 2. When I saw that, I made some may say brave, some may say foolish political decision to speak about it publicly, because this is something that is happening throughout the country. If you look at all of the RHAs, they will tell you quietly that, yes, we do this all the time, we just don't announce it. But I thought it important to announce it because I think part of our problem is that we do not speak about what is actually happening. So this initiative is one that is aimed at saying to the people of Tobago, let us use this carnival period to not just have a good time, but let us use it as an impetus. Let us use it as a thing that we work towards, for us to figure out how we shift our health status as an island. One of the reasons it's very difficult for me to do aerobics generally It's because at the time we were doing Know Your Numbers, there was a gentleman who was there, who was right there with us continually. And I want to take this opportunity while we are launching this new initiative to pay homage to Solo. We all remember him fondly as the one who has more energy than all of us. And it's so coincidental, funny, but sad that it has taken probably 15 years to get back to this point. Because let me tell you a little secret. Right after Solo passed, I tried doing aerobics, and I would find myself at the back of the aerobics class bawling my eyes out, thinking about him and what he brought to this. So we're going to use this opportunity to remember him and what he brought to the people of Tobago. Now, I started by thanking Anika, but I want to continue by thanking Onika. Onika and I have had quite a bit of history because we were probably some of the only people who would very publicly speak about sex and sexual health. And Onika has continually lamented about the fact that this is something that we need the state to actively be a part of speaking about us collectively, holistically being healthy. And if we are not healthy sexually, then we can't be healthy. Now, the other thing that most people are not talking about is the fact that we really are seeing increased rates of almost all of the STIs throughout the island. So way back when we started talking about HIV, and the thing that we were looking at, or the images that we looked at, included people looking very sick. And then we went through that wave, and then we recognized that there was medication that was available for us, and that you did not have to die from HIV, but you could live a very long, healthy life with HIV. And then somehow we stopped talking. We stopped talking about HIV, and we stopped talking about the other STIs, and we stopped talking about all of the other things that Onika spoke about, consent, and those areas. And we decided that this was a great opportunity because those things, we are seeing the numbers raised again. This was a good opportunity to say to the people of Tobago, to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, that we need us, all of us, to really be healthy, head to toe. And head to toe includes those parts that, you call them the private parts. That's part of the head to the toe. So I want you, Tobago, to look out. Look out for us as we go around the various physical activity areas, because we're coming and we're exercising and we're highlighting all of the good work that is happening out there. And by the way, there is a lot of good work. There are a lot of people doing a lot of stuff out there. And that is why this campaign did not necessarily include us trying to recreate any wheel, but saying to the people of Tobago, you can do that 5-kilometer walk every Saturday with so. Or you could go to this gym here or go to that gym there, or you could do these things because these things are already available on the island. And you simply need to join in with them. So I'm encouraging all of you. I am encouraging every single one of you to join in with us, because this Play Mass, Live Well initiative, it's fun and it's exciting, but honestly, I need us to take it seriously so that my job could get a little easier, if I am truly honest. Because what we do not want coming out of this is the, what do they call them? The carnival babies out of October Carnival. Remember, we're accustomed to have the carnival babies out of the National Carnival. And even if we have the carnival babies coming out of October Carnival, those babies need to be because you planned and there was consent and all of that, because that is what you wanted to do coming out of it. I'm going to say to all of us, this is an opportunity for us to rethink how we think about health. This is an opportunity for us to figure out how to enjoy what our culture brings for us and gives to us, but ensure that we are holistically healthier human beings at the end of it. This really is an opportunity for us to play mass, but live well. And the tagline that follows that is really a simple one, It says, Carnival sweet, but health sweeter. So I'm asking all of Tobago to join along with us, join along with the entire Tobago House of Assembly, be a part of this initiative. Be a part of getting up from tomorrow morning. As a matter of fact, from this afternoon, you go home and you could just take the little walk, the 30 minutes walk, or instead of catching the car from here to right out the road, you could walk the 5 minutes from here to your job to in town instead of catching the car. Let us actively think about it. Or we could do like what I do at my division, actually take the stairs. I think we should start banning those elevators. And there are my staff watching me and giggling. Yes, we should probably start banning those elevators unless you absolutely need to use them. But again, thank you all so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much, Dr. Okali, for agreeing to come and bring us those statistics, because you're the one who, your team are the ones who actually see it. And unfortunately, when they can't get better by you, we end up having to send them into the hospital. But the aim is to halt it. The aim is to stop it. The aim is to get to the point where we do not need to build more health facilities, because people have really taken their health into their hands and they are responsible. So Tobago, come along with me. Play mass and live well, because Carnival sweet, but health sweeter. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith Brebner. We are truly grateful for your dedication and vision in promoting better health for the people of Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, the Play Mass Live Well campaign is now officially launched. Let me tell you what you can look forward to in the coming weeks as part of the campaign. Pre-carnival exercise sessions starting today. Every week, the team will be hosting fun and engaging group exercise events in gyms, at community spaces, and even right at THA divisions. Today, of course, the team is starting at the best division of the Tobago House of Assembly, the office of the Chief Secretary. So we head downstairs right at the end of this session for an aerobic session as well as a health screening station. So we're doing the screening and then we go into the aerobic session. There'll also be a social media campaign, now you know, so stay tuned to the social media pages of the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection and the Tobago Regional Health Authority to stay informed. Workplace wellness will also take center stage. Wellness breaks will be happening across THA divisions, reminding us that even at work, we can move, stretch, and live healthier. And you can look out for the booths during Carnival with health checks, fitness demos, and interactive sessions to keep the wellness energy alive. And then there's the finale, the closing community event on October 22nd. We all gather, and I'm saying we, for a hike and a nature walk, bringing everyone together in unity, fitness, and fun. So ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that Tobago is vibrant, resilient, and strong, and we want our health to reflect the same energy. When we play mass, let's also live well. This is about taking small steps that add up to a big difference, as you heard from our speakers, for ourselves, for our families, and for our communities. Take care, and we'll see you at the aerobics session at the office of the Chief Secretary right after with your host, Kidani. Thank you for joining us for the media launch.
Hello everyone, my name is Lyndon Bacchus. I am a director and a trainer. I am at Downtown Fitness 868. We are located in Scarborough, Tobago. And what we're going to do today is we're going to demonstrate a few exercises that you can do at home or at the gym that would target most of the body parts that needs to be targeted, right? Whether you have a goal to gain weight, to lose weight, build your energy for carnival, or just just for health in general, we are here to demonstrate some stuff for you, right? So today we're gonna start with some chest exercises. I have one of our trainers here, Rashad, who will come in, and we're gonna start demonstrating some push-ups for you all, right? Now, it is advised that before any physical activity, you should warm up, right? So that means getting blood flow to the area that you're about to work out, whether it be by some stretches, some dynamic stretches, which means you stretch with movement. So you could actually rotate your arms, give yourself some huggers, do this for about 15 to 30 seconds, ever so often, for about a 2-minute period. So you will get yourself warmed up and to prevent injuries, right? So the most common chest exercise that I believe you can do anywhere is a push-up, right? You basically lowering the chest to the ground and extending out and locking the arms out. You're trying to keep your arm in line with your shoulder, in line with your hand, to keep good posture and good center of gravity. And you just lower yourself down and push yourself up. Try to keep your shoulder as low as possible and not high, because you'll put too much pressure on your shoulder. You want to actually put the pressure on your chest, right? Now, we also have something here that is a support for people who have wrist problems. So for example, if you're doing the push-up like this, you're gonna have a bending of the wrist like this. So what would happen is that some people may feel it uncomfortable. So you can get something, maybe like a push-up assist bar, or some actual dumbbells, so that the wrist remains straight. And then you could go ahead, same concept, keep the shoulders low, lower your chest down, extend out. All right, now I would recommend doing these for about 3 to 4 sets till failure, till you actually feel it in the chest, right? Because it's your body weight you'll be pushing, you want to actually get it pumping. So you do 3 to 4 sets of failure, right? When I say failure, till you actually feel that you are pushing and you could barely make to continue, right? So that is a push-up in general. Great exercise for the chest. Also, it affects the triceps and the shoulders, so it works that as well, right? It's the push muscles. So another exercise that you can do if you have access to dumbbells and a bench, we have something called a dumbbell incline fly. Now, what we did, incline press. So what we did is we have the chair at an angle up so that it targets the upper chest some more. You can keep the bench flat to get a overall work of the chest, but in this case, since you can do the push-up, we say do an incline bench, right? So what is happening here is that The concept is he lowers the dumbbell down to his chest, keeping his shoulders low. You don't want your shoulders up like this and pushing. You want your shoulders low and your chest out. You want your chest out, shoulders low. And you are driving from the chest. Just like this. Right over here, the upper chest is being activated. And you can do these for anywhere from 3 to 4 reps. I would recommend, since that you have weight, dumbbell weight, and you can increase, do it for about 12 to 15 reps that you actually feel pressure on the chest. You actually feel like you could barely make. If you find that you could do it 20, 25, then it's too light. You need to increase the weight so that around 10 to 12 to 15, you actually feel that you are working. Right? That is the point. That is the concept. Right? So those are 2 chest exercises that we can do at home if you have access to dumbbells and if you have access to a bench. Right? So what we're going to do next is demonstrate some back exercises that you can do at home with a barbell and with some dumbbells. So a row. This is called a bent over row. So what is happening here is he's going to keep a neutral spine when he leans over to pick up the bar, because we don't want to affect our lower back. We don't want any injuries. He's going to stand up with it, and then he's going to hinge forward from the hips, keeping the chest out, keeping a neutral back. And then he's going to pull the bar to around his navel area there, to his belly button. Right? He's going to keep the neck neutral, looking at a 45-degree ahead of him. And so he's not going to look out like that and bend the neck and put pressure on the spine. He's going to keep a neutral spine, and he's rowing towards. He's activating the lat muscles in the back here, pulling, right? I would, as I said, 3 to 4 reps, 8 to 12, depending on the weight. If it's too light and that's all you have access to, well, you just have to do more till you feel it, right? So if you find that the weights home is too light and you find that 15 feels like nothing, then you have no choice. You have to go to 30, right? You have to do it till you actually feel the muscle being worked, right? If we just do it half-heartedly and pumping it out, it's not really going to do anything much, right? So we need to feel the tension, the pressure, right? So this was a barbell. He's also going to demonstrate a row using dumbbells. So you're going to pick up the dumbbells, right? Leaning over the same way, right? Keeping a neutral spine, sticking the chest out, relaxing the chin, and pulling back. That's it. Just like that. Working the lat muscles really good. You're also getting some rear delta activation here, and as well as some traps activation. So he's going to pull just like that. All right, that's very good. His form is good. You would feeling the activation in your back, Shad. That is it. So keep it straight and pulling back. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, getting a little more squeeze on the back. All right, good job. 3 to 4 sets, right? Then, after we cover those 2 back exercises, we're going to go on to some shoulder. A nice compound move for shoulder, which means it works the general shoulder, and some other exercises are shoulder press, and some other areas is the shoulder press. So we could do it seated or we could do it standing. So we're going to demonstrate seated shoulder press. So if you have a bench that moves up and down, you're going to put it right here, raise it all the way up, right? Good. And then he's going to take some dumbbells. We're going to go too heavy today, demonstration purposes. Yeah, right? And he's going to keep his hand out and slightly in front of him. You don't want it extended too far behind, right? To put pressure on your rotator cuff. You just want it slightly in front of him, and he's going to push. He's going to drive the hand up in the air, straight up overhead, right? And that's the motion. It's a shoulder press, right? So, well, he's not going to extend too far behind. He keeps the pressure on the shoulder. This works the entire, and this focuses on the entire shoulder, but with emphasis on the front and the lats. the side, the lateral head of the shoulder, right? 3 to 4 sets till you feel it in the shoulder, depending on the weight that you have at home. If you're in the gym or you have access to a variety of dumbbells, you pick a weight that 10 to 15 feels like pressure, right? Good. So that was the seated shoulder press. He's going to demonstrate standing. Now, if you have a bar and weight, you could also do it with that. So what's going to happen? You're going to stand. Same concept, slightly in front. Keep the chest high, right? Keep the core and the glutes firm, and you drive up in the air. That's it. Very good. That is the concept. And we're doing, you know, as I said, 3 to 4 sets. Right? I'm going to put on the weight. Good. So that would work the shoulder, you know, pretty good. Right? And, well, you know, as we had the bar set up, let's do our shoulder press with the bar. See how it goes. Right? Bring it up. Good. And pressing straight up in the air. Boom. There we go. Nice and easy. All right. Don't forget to keep the core firm, keep the glutes firm, and drive. All right. Good stuff. So we covered the chest, the back, the shoulders. Now, there are lots more exercises that you can do for these body parts, but these are just some of the basics. We obviously can't get into every single one, but these are some basic ones that you can do at home, or even if you have to do a quick workout. Right, so we'll just finish off the upper body before we go on to the legs. So we're going to do some bicep curls. Pick a weight that you can get to 10 to 12 with. We're going to do 3 sets, and you're going to turn the hands out. Now, there are different ways. You can turn the hands out and you tuck the elbows in a bit, right? So you don't want too much motion, and then curl up just like that, right? You can see the biceps being activated right here, right? Getting that peak in and slowly go down on the eccentric motion. So you're pulling up, bam, there we go, peak, slowly down. Very good, right? 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 12, let it feel like you're working, right? Now, you can also turn to a hammer curl that will give you some emphasis on the forearm right there as well. And you're going to curl up and down. Very good. Up, right? Feel the contraction, slowly go down on the eccentric, right? That's a nice little tip to feel like you're putting yourself under some more pressure, right? So very good. Bicep curl in general. If you have dumbbells, if you have a barbell, right? Same concept. Pick it up, try to keep it, and you curl up and down, right? Curl up and down, right? Find a weight that will be manageable to you, that you can get to 10 to 12 reps under some pressure, right? Good. Oh, tricep. So at home, if you're not in the gym and don't have access to certain machines that will target the tricep, a tricep dip is pretty common to do, right? So you find a bench or a surface. I'm not sure it for me. Put your hand behind, step forward, and you're just sinking, bending the elbows, sinking down, activating the triceps here, and pushing up. Just like that. So the triceps being activated here. That's the idea, right? And yeah, 3 to 4 sets. If you're doing this as a body weight exercise, so you know you do as much as you can, I would say anything to deal with body weight, do it till failure. Do it till your hands or legs can't go anymore, right? So that's a general total upper body routine. I'm just going to show you 2 leg exercises that you can do at home with some dumbbells, right? So we're going to do something called a goblet squat, right? Now the goblet squat, some people cannot just keep the foot flat on the ground. They may feel like they're overbalancing. And if that's the case, just find something to prop your heel up on a bit. It will help with, because some of the reason could be flexibility in the ankle or in your knee, so then you tend to be tilting over a bit. So find something that you could prop your heels up on, right? If you have a piece of board at home or anything, put it there. Put your heels up, right? Right, so what you're going to do is bring the dumbbell up to your chest and cup it, right? Hold it in a nice cup motion. You're just going to bend the knees, keeping the chest upright, squat down, keeping a kind of close stance. So you put more pressure on the quads and you go down and come back up, right? Now, Rashad is pretty experienced, so he's going pretty low with the squat. If you're a beginner or if you have problems with range of motion like knee problems or hip problems, at least try to give me a 45-degree bend in the knee, a 90-degree bend in the knee, right? Once you go down past 90 degrees right below here and come back up, it's fine enough. If you have the flexibility, if you have the strength and you could go as low as possible, by all means. More range of motion, go for it, right? So that's a goblet squat, 3 sets at 12, 4 sets at 12, but make sure that you feel the exercise. And that's one of the things that when we're working out, we don't do. We just do things half-heartedly. We'll say, okay, 4 sets at 12, but the 12 is done so easily that you don't really exert any energy. So you don't put the kind of pressure that is needed under the muscles for growth and for it to be worked. So you need to push yourself to an extent. Once you're healthy enough, once it doesn't feel like it's causing you any injury or any problems, then you push through, right? So very good. So that was a goblet squat. We're going to demonstrate something called a sumo squat now. So you're going to pick up the weight. He's going to stand wide. Point the feet, the toes out at a 45-degree angle. That's it. Very good. He's going to keep the weight in front of him, slightly tilt forward, and then he's just going to squat down. Very good. And come back up. So you get a wider range, it works the general leg, but you'll get some emphasis on the hamstrings, as well as the glutes, as well as the inner thigh, right? So that's that combination of a goblet into a sumo squat is a very good routine you can put in at home. All right, so this was a general full body type activity that you can do if you have access to dumbbells and some equipment at home, right? But we can demonstrate some if you're at the gym, right? Whether it be Downtown Fitness or any other gym out there, we could show you some exercises that you can do on the machines, right? So let's get to some. Okay, so we are on some of the machines here at Downtown Fitness that we're just going to demonstrate about 4 machines, but we have a wide variety of machines that would target different body parts that would give you a good workout if you need to, right? So we joined by our next trainer here. This is Jariel, who is also champion in the men physique category in our competition in Trinidad. Was it Raw Fitness? Which? It was about Trinidad and Tobago Bodybuilding Federation. Right, Trinidad and Tobago Bodybuilding Federation. So he is here. He's joined by Rashad, who's actually going up for a competition this year. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So he's going to go up there and he's going to show them how to flex some muscles, right? But okay. So Jariel is here and he's going to demonstrate a shoulder press that we have at the gym. So basically, it's similar to the seated shoulder press that we were doing on the bench, but it's just guided with some pulleys and cables, and that you're able to have a more controlled motion when it's done, right? So what he's going to do, he's going to hold the front grip here, and he's going to focus on his posture. So he's going to lift his chest high, arch his back, and he's going to put the pressure on the shoulders here, right? You'll notice that the shoulders are being activated and push. Activated, get the peak on the shoulder. As I said, you pick a weight. These guys will probably lift out the whole rack, but you just get a weight that for you is manageable in terms of trying to get to 10 to 12 reps that you feel the pressure under the shoulder, right? So that's very good. Good posture. And remember, posture is key. We don't want any injuries. And the heavier you start to lift, the more you want to focus on your posture, because you don't want any slight movement to just, click something or pinch something somewhere in the body, right? So Rashad is going to demonstrate a chest press machine that we have here at the gym. So he's going to keep his hand in line with his chest area here. He's going to drop the shoulders a bit to put the focus on the chest, right? We don't want too much focus on the shoulder itself. We want the chest high, shoulders low. And then he's going to come back, right? Feel it in the chest. You see that chest, it's stretched. We're looking at range of motion. And then he's going to extend forward. He's going to come back, give the chest out, nice stretch, and push forward. There we go, right? We're going to work in terms of 3 sets, 10 to 12, 4 sets if you're a little more advanced, right? And that's good. Don't forget to breathe while you're doing it, right? So you breathe in as you come down, and exhale when you push out, right? Get your motion going, right? Very good. So we're going to transition over to 2 back exercises now. That's all we're going to demonstrate for today. But if you want, if you come down to Downtown Fitness or any other gym, they would have other machines that will be able to work on the different body parts to give you that physique that you may be looking for Carnival. It's kind of close to Carnival if that's what we're aiming for, but at least we could get some level of fitness going.
I'll go cross any ocean to find it. Won't let no mountain get in the way. Hey. We come cross the water, been through the fire. I know that my heart will show me the way. Everywhere you turn, you see people smiling. We don't see no creed and race. I don't want nobody tell we about leaving. We fight for we thing and this is we place. Take me home. Take me home. Take me to a place where my heart don't feel no pain. Take me home. Take me home. Take me home. Well, everybody's shouting out right there. It's a very dim deep down inside there. And if you're looking for me, you're gonna find me. Right there, right there. I repeat the bim 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 right there. It's a very dim deep down inside there. Take me home, take me home, take me home. Wake me up before I fall asleep. Take me to a place where lovers meet. Marry me to the heart of water spray. So if I ever leave, I'm bound to come again. All around is fire and flames. Oh, this world is so crazy, yes. Protect we island, Father, we pray. Until the very end of we day.